The scratching stopped. Arthur Sterling's eyes opened to absolute darkness, his hand already reaching for the phone. 5:03 a.m. Montana winter pressed against the windows like a living thing, 20 below and getting colder. The scratching started again, deliberate, measured, not the random scrabble of wind-thrown branches. His feet found the floor, toes curling against cold hardwood. Margaret would have made him wear slippers. Margaret would have checked the security monitor first. But Margaret had been gone 3 winters now, and Arthur had developed his own ways of moving through the dark, down the stairs, avoiding the 3rd step that creaked, though there was no one left to wake. The scratching grew weaker as he approached. Through the frosted glass of the front door, a shadow slumped against imported mahogany. When he opened the door, the cold hit like a physical blow. But it was what lay on his doorstep that stole his breath. A German shepherd, massive even in starvation, her ribs pressing through matted fur like accusations, but her belly hung swollen, distended with a life that seemed impossible given the jutting bones of her hips. Blood had frozen in her paw prints, a crimson trail disappearing into the pine darkness beyond his security lights. She lifted her head. Green-brown eyes held his with an intelligence that made him step back, not pleading, not begging, waiting, evaluating. In her mouth, clenched between teeth that could tear out a man's throat, was a piece of navy fabric. She dropped it at his feet with ceremony, like a knight presenting colors to a king. The fabric was stiff with ice, but Arthur recognized it immediately. His handkerchief, the one with A.S. monogrammed in silver thread, the one he'd lost in the forest 3 days ago when he'd stopped to help an injured beagle. But that had been a different dog, smaller, male. It had limped away before he could do more than tie the handkerchief around its bleeding paw. This shepherd, female, pregnant, dying, had somehow found that handkerchief, had carried it through 700 yards of frozen hell to his door. To him, specifically, his house. Among all the houses in Montana, how did you? The dog's legs gave out. She collapsed without a sound, her body curling protectively around her swollen belly, even as consciousness fled. But one paw stretched out, touching the handkerchief, pushing it toward him. Arthur dropped to his knees, his hands finding her chest, heartbeat rapid, irregular, body temperature dropping fast. She'd die here on his doorstep if he didn't. That's when he saw the collar. Leather, worn thin, cutting deep into scarred flesh. He turned the tag with numb fingers. Property of him. Brennan. But underneath, barely visible, older markings. Military issue. KS-8 Delta. SGTS-8 20 Handler. SPCK. Hayes. His phone buzzed in his pocket. A text from an unknown number, sent at exactly 5:00 a.m. She chose you. Don't let them find her. They're coming. The message disappeared as he watched, deleting itself like it had never existed. In the distance, through the pre-dawn darkness, he heard engines, multiple vehicles, moving fast up his private road. The shepherd's eyes fluttered open, fixed on his with desperate clarity. Her mouth opened, and he leaned close to hear. She wasn't whimpering. She was trying to speak. Before we continue, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know which city you're watching from. Now, let's get back to the story. The engines cut off. 3 vehicles, maybe 4. Too many for a social call at 5:07 a.m. Arthur's arm slid under the shepherd, 60 pounds, maybe less. A German shepherd should weigh 90. His lower back seized as he lifted, Margaret's voice in his head about proper form, about the herniated disc from too many hours hunched over code. 3 years dead and still nagging him about posture. The dog's head lolled against his chest. Each breath rattled wet in her throat, through his shirt. He felt her ribs' individual ridges like piano keys. The swollen belly pressed hard against his forearm. Something inside moved. Puppies. Christ. Kitchen. Bright LEDs showing too much truth. Scars mapped her body like a topographic survey of hell. Parallel lines across her shoulders. Electrical cord. Had to be. The pattern too uniform for accident. Burn marks on her right haunch. Deliberate circles. Someone had held something hot against her until car doors slammed outside. Multiple footsteps on gravel. Arthur laid her on Margaret's Turkish rug, the one they'd bought in Istanbul. Their 5th anniversary, back when he thought building companies mattered more than building memories. $12,000 of hand-woven silk now soaking up blood from frozen paws. The shepherd's eyes tracked him, alert despite everything. Her lips pulled back, not aggression, communication. Inside her mouth, caught between molars, something white, paper. He pulled it free. Spit damp and torn, upkey, military discharge papers, most of it illegible, but one section clear. 13 confirmed IED detections. Specialist Hayes, KIA 08P21. K9 unit requests adoption placement. Denied. Private sale authorized. Pounding on the door. Mr. Sterling, Tom Mitchell. Sheriff's Department. Tom. Poker. Tuesday. Tom. Margaret's funeral. Tom. But why now? Why? Arthur, open up. We got a call about stolen property. The shepherd's temperature on the kitchen thermometer, 94 degrees. Hypothermia setting in. She'd die in minutes without his phone buzzed. Same unknown number. Don't trust the sheriff. Check his truck. Arthur peered through the kitchen window. Dumped official SUV. Behind it, a black F-150 with Nebraska plates. Mud splattered. Dog crates in the bed. Chain hooks welded to the rails. Tom's voice again. Different now. Harder. We know the dog's here. Arthur, Brennan's Jeep tracked her this far. Don't make this complicated. The shepherd's eyes found his. Her paw moved, touched his hand. In the truck bed, something else. A shotgun. And beside it, a plastic top. The kind you'd use to wrap a body. Arthur's thumb found his phone. 3 taps. Security system armed. Magnetic locks engaged. Tom knew the protocols. He'd helped install them after Margaret's death. When Arthur couldn't sleep without checking doors 17 times, having some technical difficulties. Tom, give me a minute. Silence. Then Tom's laugh. The one from poker nights when he had shit cards but stayed in anyway. Sure thing, buddy. We'll wait. The shepherd's breathing grew shallow. Each exhale fogged less. Arthur grabbed kitchen towels, pressed them against her bloodied paws. The blood wasn't flowing anymore, too cold. Circulation shutting down. His phone lit up. Elena Rodriguez, his housekeeper, wasn't due for 2 hours. Mr. Sterling, I'm in your driveway, but there's trucks blocking. Side entrance now. Is everything just come? Through the window. Oh, Tom talking into his radio. The man beside him, flannel jacket. Confederate flag patch on the sleeve, unloading something from the F-150. Wire cages. The kind with gaps wide enough to spray hose through for cleaning. Elena's Honda squeezed past on the service road. She'd remember that route from Margaret's last months. When the medical supply trucks came 3 times a week, the shepherd's paw twitched against Arthur's hand. Her eyes fixed on the door, panic rising despite her weakness. Not them, Arthur said. Friend. The word felt strange. Oh, when had he last said it about anyone living? Elena's key turned in the side door. She stepped into the kitchen, stopped. Her purse hit the floor. Dios mío, ¿qué le pasó? Call Dr. Morrison. Tell her emergency. Arthur kept pressure on the wounds. Use the landline in my office, not your cell. But why? Please. Elena moved. 20 years of cleaning houses taught you when not to ask questions. Her footsteps disappeared upstairs. The shepherd's teeth chattered, not from cold. The engines outside, she knew those sounds. Her body trying to move, to run, but nothing worked below her shoulders. Arthur pulled off his flannel, wrapped it around her. They can't get in, I promise. Promises? When had he stopped making those? The military papers, blood-smeared now, showed more text as they dried handler report. 07-22-21 Sergeant S8 refuses to work with replacement handler. Recommend medical discharge. Await 1021 K9 showing signs of severe depression, weight loss, unresponsive to commands, shown handler KIA yesterday. K9 attempted body recovery under fire, sustained shrapnel wounds. Tom's voice through the door. Arthur, Brennan's getting impatient. He just wants his property back. Says the dog's pregnant with valuable puppies. Valuable. The shepherd's breathing hitched. She understood that word. Elena's footsteps rushed back. To Morrison coming. 20 minutes. She says, what do I tell the sheriff? Nothing. Check the window. Black truck. Elena peered out. Her face changed. That's the man. What man? Last month, Diego and I driving past a farm. Man beating a dog with... She stopped, crossed herself. Same truck, same flag on his coat. More pounding. Different fist. Heavier. Open the fucking door. Sterling. Not Tom's voice. Deeper. Slurred at the edges. Day drunk or 3-day drunk. The shepherd's whole body convulsed. She knew that voice the way bodies knew pain instantly, completely. Her bladder released, urine mixed with the blood on Margaret's rug. That's Brennan. Arthur kept his voice steady. The shepherd watched his face like it was the only solid thing left. He can't get in. But her eyes said different. Her eyes had seen promises broken, doors kicked in, safe places turned to traps. Elena knelt beside them. Her hand touched the shepherd's head. Professional touch she'd grown up on her grandfather's ranch in Chihuahua. New animals, embarazada, maybe 6, 7 puppies. Her fingers found the collar, deep embedded. This has to come off. Later. No, now. Is killing her. Kitchen shears. Elena's hands steady as she cut. The leather parted like rotten fruit. Underneath, raw flesh. White edges where skin had tried to heal around. Through, over. The smell hit infection. Necrotic tissue. The shepherd didn't flinch. Wounds that old. Pain becomes background noise. Tom's voice again. Fake pleasant. Arthur, we can do this easy or hard. Brennan's got legal papers. Through the window. Brennan, pissing against Arthur's Range Rover, marking territory. The third man filmed it on his phone, laughing. Arthur's phone buzzed. The unknown number. Morrison's being followed. Black Tahoe. Then another ticket. A photo. Grainy security footage. Sarah Morrison's SUV on Highway 89. Black Tahoe, 2 cars behind. Professional distance, professional tail. Elena? Call Morrison? Tell her to take the fire road. The back way we used during Mrs. Sterling's treatments. I remember. Margaret's last summer. When they moved her home to die. Every visitor had to come the back way to avoid the photographers who somehow found out a tech billionaire's wife was terminal. Vultures selling grief at $300 per photo. The shepherd's head lifted, nose working. She smelled something. Food. Elena had pulled leftover chicken from the fridge, warming it in her hands. My grandfather's trick. Cold food makes cold bodies colder. She held out a piece. The shepherd turned away. Come on, mamacita, for your babies. Nothing. Arthur took the chicken, sat on the floor beside her. His knee popped 52 years of too many board meetings, not enough movement. The shepherd watched him. He ate a piece himself, slow, deliberate. Her nose twitched. He held out another piece, waited 1 minute, 2, his back screaming from the angle. Outside, Tom talking on his radio again, calling for backup or calling for orders. The shepherd's tongue emerged. Barely pink, should be red. She took the chicken so carefully, like she expected to be yanked away, swallowed without chewing. More, a single tail thump against the floor. Elena fed her piece by piece while Arthur held her head up. Each swallow an effort, her throat working hard, damaged from something. Choke chain, probably, or worse. To Morrison's text, 5 minutes, using back road. Someone's definitely following. Through the window, 2 more trucks arriving. Men with rifles getting out, not hunting rifles. AR-15s. Who brings assault rifles to retrieve a dog, unless they weren't here for retrieval? The shepherd's eyes tracked the windows, counting threats, military training intact despite everything. Her paw touched Arthur's hand, pressed down. Stay low. She was protecting him. This dying dog, barely able to lift her head, was trying to keep him safe from the men outside. Elena's phone rang, not her ringtone Diego's, the Minecraft theme. Mama, I'm sick. The school says you need to. Not now, mijo. But my inhaler's not working and... Arthur heard the wheeze through the phone. Bad asthma day. The kind that meant emergency rooms and $1,000 bills Elena couldn't pay. Go, Arthur said. I can't leave. Go, get Diego. But the shepherd's paw moved to Elena's knee. Permission or understanding, mothers and their young universal language. Elena grabbed her purse, stopped at the door. That man, Brennan, the dogs on his farm, they weren't pets. I know. No, you don't. She pulled out her phone, showed him a video, shaky footage through a car window, dogs in cages, blood on concrete, 2 dogs in a ring, one already down, not moving. Brennan's voice in the background. Loser goes to the renderer, winner gets to breed. The shepherd saw the screen. Her whole body went rigid, not fear, recognition. She'd been in that ring. Elena left through the side door. Her Honda's engine faded toward town, toward her boy who couldn't breathe. Tom knocked again, patient. Arthur, I've got a warrant coming. Judge Matthews is signing it now. Don't make me break down your door. Judge Matthews, Brennan's cousin by marriage. Everyone knew it. Small-town justice, where blood mattered more than law. The shepherd's breathing changed, rapid, shallow. Her legs started moving, not random, rhythmic, labor contractions. The puppies were coming, here, now, with armed men outside and a dying mother who'd traveled 700 yards to find the one person who'd shown kindness to a stranger. Dr. Morrison's text, in your driveway, they won't let me through. Arthur looked at the shepherd. She looked back. Her eyes said what her voice couldn't. Don't let them take my babies. His phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Sterling? A woman's voice. Official. Cold. This is Judge Patricia Hayes. I understand you have my daughter's dog. Judge Patricia Hayes? Arthur knew the name. Everyone in Montana did. The judge who'd sent 3 corrupt cops to federal prison. The one whose daughter, Katie, was her handler. The words came out before Arthur could stop them. Silence. Then you read the papers. What's left of them? Is she alive? The shepherd's contraction hit hard. Her body curved into a C, mouth open in a soundless scream. Fluid leaked onto Margaret's rug, clear tinged pink. She's in labor. Now, right now. Hayes' breathing changed, Those men outside. Brennan, they're not there to retrieve her. I figured. No, you don't understand. She testified. Dogs can't, not in court. Before that, Katie was building a case. Military dogs disappearing. Brennan's cousin ran the auctions. Katie had video, evidence. Then the IED, another contraction. The shepherd's legs paddled air. Her temperature dropping to decay on the kitchen thermometer. Arthur pressed his palm against her chest. Heart rate wild, erratic. Judge Hayes, I need to get my vet inside. They won't let her through. Put Tom on. He's with them. No, Tom Mitchell's not. She stopped. Shit, how many trucks? 4 now. Maybe 5. Federal marshals are 40 minutes out. I called them when I saw Brennan's name on a warrant request. But 40 minutes? The shepherd's body seized, not a contraction. Full convulsion. Foam at her mouth, tinged red. She's seizing. I have to. Don't let them in. Whatever happens, don't. Arthur dropped the phone. The shepherd's airway blocked. He turned her head, swept fingers through her mouth, blood and mucus and something else. A tooth. She'd broken a tooth on her own jaw. Tom's voice outside, Arthur, we're coming in. Step away from the door. The battering ram hit. The reinforced door held, but the frame cracked. Margaret had wanted a wooden frame, said steel was unwelcoming. The ram hit again. Dr. Morrison's voice outside. Tom Mitchell, you let me through right now. Can't do it. Sarah, that animal needs immediate medical. Not my problem. The shepherd's convulsion stopped. She lay still. Too still. Arthur's fingers found her pulse, barely there. The puppies inside her, moving frantically. They knew. Somehow, they knew their mother was dying. His phone buzzed. The unknown number. Kitchen window. Now! Arthur looked. Dr. Morrison's face in the glass, medical bag in hand. She'd climbed the trellis. 65 years old, scaling his house like a burglar. The window lock turned hard. Frozen, the ram hit the front door again, wood splintering. Morrison squeezed through, medical bag first. Where's Elena? Her son. Doesn't matter. Hold her head. Morrison's hands moved fast. IV bag from her kit, finding a vein in the shepherd's front leg. The needle went in clean, despite the shaking. Calcium gluconate, oxytocin, eclampsia, pregnancy toxemia. She needs a C-section. Can you? Not here. She'll die. They'll all die. The front door gave way. Boots on hardwood. Tom's voice. Arthur Sterling, step away from the dog. Morrison drew up a syringe. This might help, or might kill her faster. We're out of options. She injected directly into muscle. The shepherd's eyes flew open, pupils dilated so wide the brown disappeared. What did you? Adrenaline. Enough to kill a person. Might give her 10 minutes. Tom entered the kitchen, gun drawn, but pointed down. Behind him, Brennan. The smell hit first whiskey and Copenhagen and something else. Dog blood. Fresh on his boots, boy. There's my girl. Brennan grinned. 3 teeth missing. Thought you could run, you stupid bitch. The shepherd's lip curled. Not much, but enough. Still got fight good, makes better puppies. He pulled out a catch pole. Trained her myself. Shock collar on highest setting. Amazing what they'll do to make it stop. Tom holstered his weapon. Just take her and go. Can't move her till, Morrison said. She's in active labor. Not my problem. Brennan extended the catch pole. The shepherd saw it. Her whole body changed. Not cowering, coiling, every muscle fiber remembering, the first puppy crowned. Morrison's hands moved. I need help. Someone has to. I'll do it. Arthur knelt beside her. Like hell. Brennan stepped forward. Those are $30,000 puppies. Then let me deliver them alive. Tom shifted uncomfortably. Marcus, maybe we should... Shut up. Brennan pulled out papers. Bill of sale, legal ownership. That bitch and everything in her belongs to me. Judge Hayes' voice from Arthur's dropped phone. That document is dated after she was already here. Everyone looked at the phone. Tom Mitchell, this is Judge Patricia Hayes. You're interfering with a federal investigation. Stand down. Tom laughed. You got no jurisdiction here. Pat, this is county matter. That military dog is federal property. Not anymore. Discharged, sold, legal transfer, through channels that are under FBI investigation. The first puppy slid free, black male. Morrison cleared his airway. He screamed healthy, angry. The shepherd tried to turn, to see, to clean him. The catchpole stopped her. Brennan had slipped it over her neck while everyone watched the birth. Easy, girl. Remember what happens when you fight. He pulled out a device. Handheld, red button on top. The shepherd's eyes went dead. Complete shutdown. She knew that button. Shock collars built into the pole. Brennan said conversationally. Military grade. Could stop a bear. Second puppy coming. Arthur caught this one. Female. Silver gray. Smaller. She mewed like a kitten. That's a $5,000 puppy you're touching. Brennan said. Theft. Tom, arrest him. Tom didn't move. Marcus, do your fucking job. There's something wrong, Morrison said. Third puppy's breech. The shepherd's breathing went shallow, the adrenaline wearing off. Her eyes found Arthur's, blinked once. Slow, trust. Arthur's hand moved to his pocket. The phone Elena had given him last Christmas, the one he'd never used because who would he call his thumb? Found the record button. Tell me about the fighting ring, he said. Brennan grinned. What ring? The one in your barn? The one where you made her fight? Can't prove shit. The video Elena took through the car window. Brennan's face changed. That Mexican bitch. She's from Phoenix. Don't give a shit where you killed the dogs for sport. Livestock. Legal to put down livestock. Military working dogs aren't livestock. Or when I own them. The third puppy wouldn't come. Morrison's arm disappeared inside the shepherd. Blood. Too much blood. Got it. But Morrison's face went white. The uterus is tearing. Then sew it up, Brennan said. Need her breeding again in 6 months. She'll die. Then I'll get my money's worth first. Tom, we're leaving. Get them up. Tom stepped forward, stopped, outside. Sirens. Distant, but closing. That's not 40 minutes, Tom said. Judge Hayes' voice from the phone. Amazing how federal marshals drive when you tell them a war hero is being tortured. Brennan yanked the catch pole. The shepherd's body dragged across the floor, leaving blood trails. She didn't fight, couldn't, but her eyes stayed on the 2 puppies Morrison had wrapped in kitchen towels. Leave the puppies, Brennan said. Too young. Need the mother for another week minimum. They'll die without her, Morrison said. Then I'll sue Sterling for the loss. Wrongful interference with livestock? The shepherd's paw scraped against tile, not random, reaching. Toward Arthur, he saw what she saw. The third puppy's head, just visible, stuck, dying. $10,000, Arthur said. Brennan stopped. What? For 5 minutes. Let her deliver. 10,000 cash. You don't have... Arthur pulled out his wallet. Black card. The one with no limit. ATM in my office. Takes 30 seconds. Brennan's eyes went pig small, calculating. 50. 20. 40, or we walk. 30. Final offer. The Serene's closer. Maybe 10 minutes out. Get it! Arthur stood. The room tilted when had he last eaten. Yesterday the shepherd watched him leave. Her tail moved once. Permission or goodbye. His office. Second floor. The ATM built into the wall, Margaret's idea. said it was tacky but practical. His hand shook entering the pen. The machine hummed, counting bills. Through the window, 3 more trucks arriving, not law enforcement. Pickup trucks, men with rifles getting out. Brennan's backup. The money emerged, hundreds, 300 of them. From downstairs, a sound that stopped his heart. The shepherd screaming, not pain, rage, pure, primal, maternal rage. Then Tom's voice, Jesus Christ, Marcus, what did you... A gunshot. Silence. Arthur ran for the stairs. The money forgotten, scattered behind him like dead leaves. In the kitchen doorway, he stopped. Blood everywhere, but not the shepherd's. Brennan on the floor, his arm mangled, the catch-pole in pieces. The shepherd standing, swaying, the 3rd puppy hanging half-delivered in her mouth. Tom's service weapon. The Glock's weight bent the shepherd's neck. Her jaw tremored from the effort, but her eyes stayed locked on Brennan. The 3rd puppy slipped free, Morrison catching it one-handed while her other hand pressed towels against Brennan's arm. "Don't move," Morrison told Brennan. "Radial arteries torn." Tom stood frozen against the refrigerator, hands visible, empty. "Haiti, easy, girl." The shepherd's growl came from somewhere deeper than throat. Ancestral. The sound wolves made before dogs existed. Arthur stepped over the scattered money, slow, announcing each movement. "Hade!" Her ear twitched. Acknowledgement, not surrender. "Give me the weapon." She shifted the gun in her mouth. Finger guard against her canines. One bite reflex and she'd fire. Everyone knew it. Brennan whimpered, "Get it away from me, Tom." "Shoot it." "With what?" Tom's hand moved toward his backup piece. Sadie's head snapped toward him. The Glock swung in an arc. Tom's hand stopped. "She was a military working dog," Arthur said. "Weapons detection. She knows what you're reaching for." The 4th puppy crowned. Sadie's body shuddered with the contraction, but she held position. Blood ran down her back legs. The gun never wavered. Morrison worked one-handed on the puppy. "Posterior presentation, but need both hands." "Then let him bleed," Arthur said. "I'm a vet. I don't let things bleed." "The puppies are dying inside her." Morrison's free hand pulled the 4th puppy out, male, dark brown, not breathing. "Take a him." Arthur knelt. The puppy fit in his palm, chest compressions with 2 fingers, Margaret's CPR class, the one she made him take when they were trying for children, when they still believed in futures that included midnight feedings. The puppy's chest cracked. Too much pressure. Arthur lightened his touch, breathed into nostrils smaller than peas. Behind him, boots on stairs, multiple sets, the backup team from outside. "Kitchen secure," Tom called out. "False alarm." "Didn't sound false," a voice replied. "Heard a gunshot." "Accidental discharge. My fault." "You okay, Sheriff?" "Fine. Just need a minute." The boots retreated, Tom's reputation buying time. 5th puppy coming. Sadie's legs shook. The gun barrel dipped, rose, dipped again. "She's going into shock," Morrison said. "Blood loss, plus exhaustion, plus..." Sadie's back legs gave out. She went down hard but turned as she fell. Landing on her side, the Glock skittered across tile, stopping against Arthur's knee. He grabbed it, checked the chamber. 1 round fired into the ceiling. By the looks of it, 14 left. Brennan tried to sit up. "Shoot it! That dog's dangerous." Hey, Arthur pointed the Glock at Brennan's head. "You're right." Tom's hand moved to his empty holster. "Arthur, she's got 2 more puppies inside. She. You move. I shoot. Anyone comes through that door, I shoot. You won't." Arthur's finger moved to the trigger. Margaret died screaming. Pain management protocols failed. I sat there for 19 hours listening to her beg. You know what I learned. Tom. Silence. That there's a sound humans make when they're beyond help. "Brennan's about to make it." "You're not a killer," Tom said. Neither was she. Arthur nodded at Sadie, until someone made her one. The fifth puppy arrived in a rush of fluid, female, small. Morrison barely caught her. Sirens now. Close. Maybe 2 minutes. Federal marshals. Tom said, "You shoot me. You're done." "I'm already done. Been done for 3 years. Sadie's breathing went wrong. Too fast, then too slow. The sixth puppy visible, but not moving. Morrison's hands inside, manipulating. "Uterus is rupturing. She needs surgery." "Then do it." "I can't. Not here. No equipment." "What do you need?" Anesthesia, blood, time." Arthur kept the gun on Brennan, but looked at Morrison. "The emergency vet, Mercy Animal Hospital." 20 minutes. She doesn't have 20 minutes. She traveled 700 yards in a blizzard. She's got 20 minutes. Morrison pulled the sixth puppy free. Another female, tiny, the runt. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Morrison didn't even try to revive her. "That's all of them. 6. You said 7. Maybe 7. Ultrasound isn't perfect. Check again." Morrison's hands went back inside. Her face changed. "There is something." Vehicles in the driveway, doors slamming, federal marshals announcing themselves. Tom stood straighter. "It's over, Arthur." "Not yet." Sadie's eye opened. Just one, the other swollen shut from when she'd fallen. She looked at her puppies. 5 breathing, 1 still. Her tongue emerged, dry, cracked. She licked the still one. Once, twice, nothing. "Sometimes they know," Morrison said, "when one won't make it." Sadie kept licking, methodical, purposeful, the way mothers have cleaned their young since mammals began. The kitchen door opened. 3 marshals, weapons drawn but not aimed. The lead marshal, a woman, mid-40s, wearing a vest that said, "Hayes, stop short." "Is that—" She looked at Sadie. "That's my mother's case." "Your mother?" "Judge Patricia Hayes. I'm Marshal Rebecca Hayes. We're here for Marcus Brennan." "I need medical attention," Brennan whined. "That man threatened me. That dog attacked—" "Shut up." Rebecca knelt beside Sadie. "This is Sergeant S8, my sister's dog." "Katie," Arthur said. "You knew her?" "No, but Sadie did." The still puppy moved, barely. A twitch. Sadie's licking intensified. Not cleaning now. Stimulating. The way wild mothers wake sluggish young. The puppy's mouth opened. A bubble of fluid emerged. Morrison grabbed a suction bulb, cleared the airway. Still nothing. Arthur remembered something. Margaret's last painting wasn't just sunflowers. Bottom corner, barely sketched a dog, German shepherd, pregnant. "She knew," he said. "Margaret knew we'd find her." The puppy gasped. Tiny chest expanding, the sound it made not a cry, a chirp, like a bird. "Hope," Arthur said without thinking. "Her name is Hope." Marshal Hayes stood. "Mr. Brennan, you're under arrest for trafficking in stolen military property. I bought that dog legal. You bought her from Lieutenant James Cooper, your cousin, who's currently in federal custody." Brennan's face went white under the blood loss. "Oh, he didn't tell you." Rebecca smiled. "He was arrested 3 hours ago. Gave you up for a deal." Tom backed toward the door. "I should coordinate with my deputies." "You should stay right there," Rebecca nodded to another marshal. "Sheriff Mitchell, you're under arrest for conspiracy." "I didn't. We have your texts, all of them, including the ones about moving merchandise across state lines." They cuffed Tom first. He didn't resist. Looked at Arthur. "I needed the money. Medical bills. Sarah knows." Morrison didn't look up from the puppies. "I know lots of things. Tom, doesn't mean I excuse them." They had to carry Brennan out. Blood loss made him too weak to walk. He kept screaming about his arm, his rights, his property. Rebecca stayed behind, watched Morrison work on Sadie. Will she make it? If we move now. I'll drive. Lights and Liberlands. They lifted Sadie onto a blanket. Arthur held the front, Rebecca the back. Morrison carried the puppies in a box, 700 pounds between them. Dog, puppies, hope. In the Marshall's SUV, Sadie's head in Arthur's lap. Her eye found his face. Stayed there. 20 minutes, he told her. Just 20 more minutes. Her tail moved. Once. Agreement or exhaustion? Morrison's phone rang. Elena. Yes, he's... She handed it to Arthur. Elena crying. Diego's in the ER. Can't breathe. Insurance won't cover the new treatment. I'm sorry. I know the dog needs... Which hospital? Mercy General. Same as the animal hospital. Same as where Margaret died. I'll meet you there. Mr. Sterling, I can't pay... Elena, I'll meet you there. He hung up. Sadie is breathing, shallowed. The puppies crying in their box, seeking warmth that was dying 3 feet away. Rebecca took a corner hard, tires screaming. 5 minutes. Through the windshield, Arthur saw the hospital complex. 2 buildings, Mercy General on the left, Mercy Animal on the right. Between them, a courtyard, Margaret's memorial garden, the one he'd paid for but never visited. Sadie's eye closed. Her breathing stopped. Morrison's hand on her chest. No heartbeat. Rebecca pulled into the emergency bay. Both hospitals visible. A choice. CPR, Morrison said. Someone needs to... Arthur's hands on Sadie's chest. Compressions. 1, 2, 3. The way he'd learned. The way he'd done on Margaret those last minutes before the nurses pulled him away. Sadie's eye opened, focused on something behind him. He turned. In the memorial garden, visible through the glass doors, a statue. German Shepherd. Pregnant, bronze-weathered green. The plaque beneath it would say, Margaret Sterling Memorial. But Arthur knew without reading it. She'd commissioned it. Before the diagnosis, before everything ended, Sadie's tail moved, stronger this time. Not agreement. Recognition. The veterinary OR doors crashed open. 2 techs in scrubs grabbed the blanket's corners. Sadie's weight, nothing to them. They moved dying animals every day. Surgery 3, Morrison barked. Get Robertson. Tell him emergency C-section and uterine repair. Arthur's hands stayed on Sadie's chest. Compression, release. Compression, release. Her ribs bent under his palms. Old fractures, healed wrong. Sir, we need to... I'm coming with her. You can't. I'm Arthur Sterling. I renovated this entire wing. I'm coming with her. The tech looked at Morrison. She nodded. Through swinging doors. Antiseptic burn in his nostrils. The same smell from Margaret's last surgery. The one that didn't work. Dr. Robertson appeared, 30-something, hands already in gloves. Sarah, what have we got? German Shepherd, 6 puppies delivered, uterine rupture, lost consciousness 2 minutes ago. It's vitals. No pulse. Owner's doing compressions. Robertson's hands replaced Arthur's. Professional. Efficient. I've got it. Arthur stepped back, his palms printed red on blue scrubs. Sadie's blood or his own from compressions unclear. Epia, 0.5 milligrams. Robertson's voice, calm. The calm of someone who'd watched hundreds of things die. And get me 2 units of blood. We don't have... Check the donor dogs. A tech ran out. Morrison guided Arthur to the corner. You need to let them work. Through the observation window, Elena in the human hospital corridor, Diego on a gurney, oxygen mask too big for his 8-year-old face, his chest heaving, pulling for air that wouldn't come. Arthur's phone buzzed. Rebecca Hayes. My mother's here. She wants to see the dog. Or 3, on my way. The tech returned. No matching blood type in the donor pool. Then we go synthetic. Robertson injected something directly into Sadie's heart. Her body convulsed. Come on. Nothing. Again? Another injection. Sadie's leg twitched. Not life, just electricity fearing dead muscle. Judge Patricia Hayes entered, 62 years old in a Chanel suit, looking like she'd aged 20 years in the last 3. She stopped at the table. Katie's dog? Yes. She touched Sadie's ear, the military tattoo. I tried to adopt her after they said she'd been destroyed, too traumatized from combat. They lied. They always do. Robertson charged the paddles. Clear! The shock. Sadie's body jumped. The monitor stayed flat. Again. Through the window, doctors surrounding Diego, one holding Elena back as she tried to reach her son, the same dance Arthur knew, the one where medicine admitted defeat without words. His phone rang. Unknown number. Don't answer that, Patricia said. It's them. Who? Brennan's people. The ones we haven't caught yet. It rang again. Arthur answered. You cost me $3 million. Not Brennan's voice. Older, colder. The dogs, the operation. My nephew? Your nephew tortured. My nephew made me money. That dog was pregnant with military bloodlines. You know what those puppies sell for in China, Russia? Patricia grabbed for the phone. Arthur turned away. What do you want? The puppies. All of them. You keep the dying bitch. No. I have Elena Rodriguez's address. Apartment 23B, Riverside Complex. Arthur's chest tightened. If you, single mother, no family in town, drives a 2012 Honda, parks in spot fouls through the window. Elena signing papers, DNR orders, the ones that said, stop trying. Boy's having trouble breathing, I hear. You're at the hospital. Parking garage. 3rd floor. Silver Denali. Arthur moved to the window. Parking structure visible. 3rd floor too dark to see details. What do you want? Already said. The puppies. Bring them to the garage. Alone. They're newborns. They need 10 minutes. Or I make a call. Elena's apartment has such thin walls. Fire spreads fast in old buildings. The line went dead. Robertson shocking Sadie again. Nothing. The puppy's in their box. 5 breathing. Hope the smallest, weakest. Her white chest marking perfect heart shape even through birth fluids. Morrison checking each one. They need colostrum soon without maternal antibodies. How long? Hours? Maybe. Through the window. Oh, Elena crying. Diego's eyes closed. The ventilator doing what his lungs couldn't. Patricia on her phone. I need units at Riverside Complex. Ojima, a possible arson threat. Takes 15 minutes to get there, Morrison said. If there's already accelerant placed. Arthur picked up the box. 6 puppies. Maybe 7 pounds total. You can't, Patricia said. Those are evidence of what Brennan's in custody. His organization isn't. I need Elena's son to live. She needs a home to go back to. Robertson stepped back from the table. Call it some time of death. No. Morrison pushed past him, grabbed a scalpel. She came 700 yards. She's not dying on my table. She cut, not surgery desperation, straight down Sadie's abdomen. Blood welled, darker than it should be. Whoa, what are you? Manual cardiac massage. Morrison's hand disappeared inside. Her face concentrated, the wet sound of heart muscle being squeezed. Sarah, she's gone. No? It's been 8 minutes. I don't care. Arthur set down the puppies. Through the window, doctors intubating Diego. Elena pressed against glass, watching her boy disappear under tubes and wires. His phone buzzed. Text from the unknown number. Photo of Elena's apartment building. Man in frame holding something. Gas can. I have to go. Patricia grabbed his arm. It's a trap? I know. They'll kill you. Maybe. He picked up the box. Hope mewed. Tiny paws pushing against siblings. Fighting for position even now. Robertson joined Morrison. 4 hands inside Sadie now. I feel something. What? Movement. Not the heart. Lower. Morrison's eyes widened. That's impossible. What's impossible? Get me the ultrasound. Now. A tech wheeled over the machine. Morrison, hands still inside Sadie, watched the screen. There. On the monitor, a shape moving. That's a 7th puppy, Robertson said. How did we miss? Doesn't matter. It's alive, but what? It's in the wrong horn. Must have migrated when the uterus ruptured. Arthur set down the box. Can you? Not while doing cardiac massage. Then I'll do it. Morrison looked at him. You don't know how. You squeeze the heart. How hard can it be? You could. She's already dead. What's the worst that happens? Morrison guided his hand inside. Warm, wet, everything moving that shouldn't be. His fingers found something firm, size of a walnut. That's it. Now squeeze. Not too hard. Once per second. Arthur squeezed. Nothing. Again. Feel for a flutter, Morrison said while cutting deeper. Anything. Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. His phone rang. The unknown number. 5 minutes left, the voice said. I see you through the window. Playing doctor. Sweet. Arthur kept squeezing. I'm coming. Alone? With the puppies. Yes. You're a good boy. The line died. Morrison found the 7th puppy, pulled it free. Another female, pure black, not moving. She's been without oxygen too long. Arthur kept squeezing Sadie's heart. Try anyway. Morrison worked on the puppy. Compressions with 2 fingers. Tiny breaths into lungs the size of walnuts. Through the window, Diego's monitor alarming. Doctors moving faster. Elena on her knees. The universal posture of mothers losing children. Patricia's phone rang. What? You're sure shit. She looked at Arthur. 3 men just entered Riverside Complex. Elena's building. Arthur's hand cramped. He kept squeezing. How long for your people? 10 minutes, maybe 12. The 7th puppy gasped. Once, weak but real. She's alive, Morrison said. Under Arthur's palm, something, not regular rhythm, but something. I felt it. Robertson checked with the stethoscope. It's faint, but what? But it's there. Sadie's heart, beating on its own, barely. Possibly not for long, but beating. Arthur pulled his hand out, blood to his elbow. Some still warm, some already cooling. He picked up the box. 7 puppies now. The 7th so still she might already be gone again. Keep her alive, he said. Where are you going? To make a trade? Patricia stepped in front of him. You can't trust them. I don't. Then why? His phone buzzed. Photo of men in Elena's hallway. One holding a lighter, because some things matter more than trust. He pushed past Patricia, into the corridor, toward the parking garage. Behind him, Morrison working on Sadie. Ahead. 3 flights of concrete stairs to whatever waited in the dark. The puppies cried, all except the 7th. She'd stopped breathing again. Parking garage, concrete pillars tagged with old graffiti. Oil stains like Rorschach tests on cracked asphalt. 3rd floor via stairs elevators would trap him. First landing. His knees protested. 52 years old, carrying 7 puppies up institutional concrete. The box shifted. Hope, the 6th one. The tiny fighter hadn't moved since he'd left surgery. Second landing. Through the mesh window, Diego's room. machines breathing for him. Elena small in the visitor's chair, rosary between her fingers, phone buzzing, photo from the unknown number, man's hand on Elena's apartment door, holding a road flare, third floor, silver Denali parked under the only working light, engine running, Montana plates mud splattered like Brennan's truck, like they'd all come from the same farm. Arthur approached, the box weighing more with each step, not the puppy's the choice. Passenger window lowered, man inside, 60s, wearing a Carhartt jacket. Brennan's eyes in an older face, uncle, probably, the one who'd owned the farm before it became something else. Smart boy. His teeth were better than Brennan's. Probably had insurance. Show me. Arthur tilted the box, 7 puppies, 5 moving, hope, and the 7th motionless. 2 dead ones, dying, not dead. Same difference. Still worth something to the right buyer. Chinese restaurants pay good money. Arthur's stomach turned. The man laughed. Joking? Maybe. Put them in the back. Elena's apartment first. The man held up his phone. FaceTime with someone. Elena's door visible on screen. 1 word from me. Arthur walked to the Denali's rear. The hatch open, inside dog crates. 3 occupied, puppies from other litters. Some moving, some not. Business is business, the man said. You understand. You ran companies. Never like this? Sure you did. How many employees you fire? How many families lost insurance? Different kind of death, that's all. Arthur set the box in the truck. Hope's chest, still no movement. The 7th puppy curled against her, sharing warmth with the dead. Call off your men. The uncle spoke into his phone, on screen. The men, leaving Elena's hallway. Done, see how easy. Now what? Now you go back inside. Tell them the puppies died. All of them. Complications from the birth. They'll know. No. They'll suspect. Different thing. No bodies. No proof. The marshals will find nothing. I've been doing this 30 years. You think Marcus was the first nephew I taught the trade? Through the mesh window. Movement in Diego's room. Doctors, many of them. Elena standing, hand over mouth. Your wetback's kid dying. Arthur's fist closed. The uncle noticed. Touched a nerve. Good. Remember that feeling? See it, you talk. She loses more than a son. Arthur turned back. Stopped. In the Denali's crate, movement. A puppy. In the back, German shepherd. Maybe 3 weeks old. That's not from Sadie's. Different mother. Same father, though. We had Marcus breed his male before you stole the bitch. I didn't steal. Court'll decide that. The uncle started the engine. Speaking of, you'll be hearing from our lawyers. Marcus can't talk right now, something about his arm, but I've got power of attorney. You can't win. Don't need to. Just need to tie things up long enough. For what? For the bitch to die. Then the puppies are just property. Easier to move property than evidence. The Denali reversed. Arthur memorized the plate 3B7TA9, Montana farm truck designation. His phone rang. Morrison. She's stable. Sadie. We got her back. The puppies need her. Need colostrum. Where are... Arthur hung up. Through the window, Elena hugging someone. A doctor. Diego's hand moving. Weak but moving. Alive. The trade worth it. He'd tell Morrison the puppies died in the box. Shock. Stress. Happens with traumatic births. She'd believe it because she'd want to easier than accepting he'd handed them to monsters. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. New voice. Female. Mr. Sterling. This is Amanda Garrett. Brennan and Associates. Brennan doesn't have, I'm his attorney. I'll be filing charges this afternoon. Assault with a deadly animal. Theft of property. interfering with agricultural commerce. He tortured. Allegedly. What we know is your dog attacked my client, severed his radial artery. He may lose the arm. Good. I am recording this call. Record this. He got what he deserved, threatening my client, stating facts. The fact is you harbor a dangerous animal. We'll be seeking immediate destruction order. You mean murder? I mean legal remediation for a vicious dog. Judge Matthews agrees. Matthews is his cousin. Second cousin. No legal requirement for recusal. Through the window, Diego sitting up, breathing on his own. Elena crying the way people cry when fear finally breaks. File your papers. Already done. Emergency hearing tomorrow, 9 a.m. Tomorrow's Sunday. Judge Matthews is very accommodating, especially since there's a public safety issue. Sadie just gave birth. She can't. Then she'll be tried in absentia, or you can surrender her for evaluation. Evaluation, behavioral assessment, standard for dangerous dogs, where county animal control. They're very thorough. Arthur knew county animal control. Run by Matthew's brother-in-law. Dogs went in. Didn't come out. No. Then see you in court. Oh. And, Mr. Sterling, I'd avoid any contact with my client or his family. His uncle just has an alibi. 3 witnesses put him at Murphy's bar for the last 2 hours. That's impossible. You just what? Have proof video witnesses. Arthur said nothing. Thought so. 9 a.m. Don't be late. She hung up. Arthur walked back through the hospital. Different route. Avoiding the OR. He couldn't face Morrison. Couldn't lie to her yet. Pediatric IC. Elena in the hallway, on her phone. Yes, I understand. No insurance authorization. I'll figure out. She saw Arthur. I have to go. How is he? Alive. The new treatment worked, but insurance says experimental means not covered. $30,000. She laughed. Not humor. The sound people make when numbers get too big. Might as well be 30 million. I'll handle it, Mr. Sterling. Elena, I'll handle it. She grabbed his hands. Stopped. Saw the blood. The dog. Survived. Barely. The puppies. The lie rose in his throat. Wouldn't come out. Mr. Sterling. His phone buzzed. Patricia Hayes. We found the uncle, or what's left of him. What? Single vehicle accident. Denali wrapped around a tree on Highway 89. Fire destroyed everything. When? 20 minutes ago, right after leaving the hospital. But you just what? Arthur's mind raced. The uncle, the puppies, the fire. The puppies were in that truck. What puppies? Morrison said there was Sadie. No, I made a trade to save Elena's apartment. Silence. Then you gave them the puppies. He had men at Elena's building with accelerant. We swept the building, no sign of forced entry, no accelerant, but the photos could be from anywhere, any time. Arthur leaned against the wall. The puppies. 7 lives traded for nothing. Were they in the truck? Can't tell. Fire was too hot, melted everything. Who called it in? Anonymous. From a burner phone. Like the texts. Like everything else. Someone's playing us, Patricia said. This whole thing, Brennan, his uncle, the dogs, someone's cleaning house. Why? Because something's worth more than we know. Through the window, Morrison working on Sadie, Ivy's running antibiotics, fluids, blood. The dog unconscious but breathing, alone. I need to tell Morrison. Tell her what? That I killed the puppies. You didn't. I handed them over. Same thing. Arthur. He hung up, walked to the OR. Morrison looked up. Where are they? Sadie needs... Gone. What? I gave them away. To save Elena's apartment. Morrison's face changed. Professional distance cracking. You what? Brennan's uncle. He had men there. Threatened to burn. There are no puppies more important than human lives. I understand. No, you don't. He showed her Patricia's text. The accident to the fire. Morrison sat down hard. All of them. Probably. Even Hope. Especially Hope. She wasn't moving when Morrison's hand covered her mouth. Behind it, sounds that weren't quite words. I'm sorry. Sadie, when she wakes up. Morrison looked at the unconscious dog. She'll look for them. She'll know. I know. No, you don't. Dogs who lose their puppies. She stopped. Some never recover. Arthur's phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Then did. Mr. Sterling. New voice. Male. Younger. Nervous. You don't know me. I worked for the uncle. Who is this? Doesn't matter. The puppies. They weren't in the truck. Arthur's legs went weak. Where? Can't say. But they're alive. Most of them. Most? The little one, with the heart mark. She didn't make it. I'm sorry. Hope, dead. The others need milk. Soon. There's a woman in Browning, raises shepherds. She'll help. Why should I trust? You shouldn't. But you don't have choices. Browning, red house on Maple. Ask for Nancy. Why are you? Because I've buried enough puppies for those bastards. The line died. Morrison watching him. What? Maybe alive. Maybe not Hope. Where? Browning, an hour north. I'll go. Morrison. Sadie's stable. You have court tomorrow. She grabbed her coat. If there's even a chance. She left. Arthur stood alone with Sadie. The shepherd's eyes moved under closed lids, dreaming, probably, of her puppies. His phone buzzed. The unknown number. Photo attachment. 6 puppies in a cardboard box. 5 moving. Hope in the corner. Not moving at all. Tom's office smelled like burnt coffee and fear sweat. Federal agents at every desk. Bankers' boxes stacked to the ceiling tiles. Arthur stood by the window, watching them load Tom's computer into evidence bags. Your sheriff kept good records. Agent Johnson held up a folder. Every military dog sold through Montana. 15 total. The papers. Dates, names, amounts. Brennan's cousin, Lieutenant James Cooper. Signature on each one. Sadie's here. Johnson's finger on a line. August 12th, $600. 3 weeks after Katie Hayes died, while her mother was planning the funeral, Cooper was selling her dog. Arthur's phone buzzed. Arthur Morrison. You need to see something. Her clinic's back room. She had a laptop open, external drive plugged in. Her hands steady now, but her voice wasn't. I've been documenting for 3 years. Click. Photos filled the screen. Every dog Mark has brought in. German shepherds, pit bulls, Rottweilers. All with the same patterns, electrical burns, whip marks, embedded chains. This one, she clicked. A Belgian Malinois. Ribs like ladder rungs. Died on my table. Internal bleeding. Another click. This was Sadie's first litter. 5 puppies, none moving. He brought them in a trash bag, said they were defective. Wanted me to dispose of them. Morrison's jaw worked. I should have. Why didn't you? He's my nephew, my sister. She begged me. Said he just needed time to straighten out. Another folder. Videos this time. Morrison behind the barn at night. Phone camera shaking. Dogs in a pit. Blood on concrete. Brendan's voice clear. Loser feeds the hogs. I was building a case, waiting for enough evidence. You had enough. I had a nephew, a sister, a family that she stopped. I chose wrong. Arthur's phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Sterling, this is Valerie Chen, CNN. We have a source saying you're harboring stolen military dogs. Care to comment? He hung up. It rang again immediately. Different number. This is Fox News. We understand there was an incident. Morrison turned on the waiting room TV, already running. Billionaire's dog attack leaves local man critical. Brennan, in a hospital bed, arm-wrapped, playing victim. I just wanted my property back. That animal's vicious. Cut to Amanda Garrett outside the courthouse. We're seeking immediate destruction of this dangerous animal. Arthur's phone. Patricia Hayes. Don't talk to media. I'm handling this. 20 minutes later, every channel had the story, but not Brennan's version. Diego's iPad video everywhere. Clear audio of Brennan. 30,000 in puppies. Fighting rings pay good money. Elena on NBC. Tears running. He saved my son's life. While his dog was dying, he paid Diego's medical bills. Veterans started calling in. That's Sergeant S8. She saved my unit. 13 lives that dog saved. Where's her medal? The internet found Cooper by noon. His photo next to Brennan's. The connection. Clear. Then someone leaked Morrison's photos, the dead dogs, the fighting pit, the first dead litter. Brennan's hospital room filled with federal marshals at 2 p.m. Marcus Brennan, you're under arrest for trafficking stolen military property. I want my lawyer. She's busy. They showed him footage Amanda Garrett being arrested at her office. Conspiracy charges. She knew the papers were forged. Cooper's arrest hit the news at 3. Fort Carson, dragged out of officers' quarters in cuffs. 11 other names released. Multi-state ring-selling war heroes to fighting operations. Arthur watched from Morrison's clinic. Sadie sedated for x-rays, checking damage from the attack on Brennan. 7 puppies in a pen. Hope still on oxygen support. Patricia Hayes arrived at 4. We got them, all of them. Now what? Now we prosecute, and you keep that dog safe. The destruction order void. Matthews recused himself an hour ago. She smiled, sharp. Amazing what happens when reporters start asking about his connection to Brennan. Morrison came out with x-rays. 3 broken ribs, old wounds, never healed right, probably from before, not the attack. Will she? She'll recover it. My body will anyway. Arthur looked through the window. Sadie awake now, counting puppies. 6, always pausing at 6, looking for hope. Where's the 7th? With the uncle. He took her when Patricia's phone rang. She listened, face changing. There's been an accident. Highway 80, Silver Denali. The crash site. Fire trucks still spraying foam on twisted metal, wrapped around pine. The uncle's body visible through shattered windshield. Truck bed melted, destroyed. Any sign of... The fire chief shook his head. If there were puppies in there, they're gone. Arthur's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Mr. Sterling, voice young, scared. I worked for him. The uncle. Who is this? Doesn't matter. The puppies weren't in the truck. Arthur's legs went weak. He sat on the guardrail. Where? Can't say, but they're alive. Most of them. Most. The little one. Heart mark. I'm sorry. Hope. The others need milk. Soon. There's a woman in Browning, raises shepherds, Nancy Blackwood, red house on Maple. Why are you? Because I've buried enough puppies for those bastards. Because that dog Sadie, she tried to save them even when he was killing her. Lying dead. Arthur called Morrison. Get Elena. We're going to Browning. What about now? The drive took forever. Our north, snow starting again. Elena drove while Morrison called ahead. Nancy Blackwood answered on the first ring. "Been expecting you? They're here. Red house on Maple. Lights on despite the hour. Nancy at the door, 70 maybe. Flannel shirt, boots. This way." Her kitchen, cardboard box by the heater, 6 puppies, 5 moving, Alice, biggest, dark face, Luna, silver coat, Storm and Ranger tumbling over each other, Grace watching everything. The unnamed 7th, sleeping, Hope in the corner. Still, white heart marking visible against black fur. Morrison knelt, stethoscope out, checked each puppy, left Hope for last. "She's—" Morrison stopped, listened again. "There's something—" Faintest flutter, barely there. "She's alive, barely." Arthur picked her up, so small in his palms. Body cool, but not cold. "What does she need?" "Warmth, and glucose. Mother's milk would be best, but then we take them home." Nancy had already prepared a warming box. Young man who brought them looked scared. "Said to tell you he's leaving the state. Said the uncle wasn't supposed to die." "What does that mean?" "Means someone's cleaning house. Removing witnesses." They loaded the puppies. Hope against Arthur's chest inside his coat, trying to share body heat, heartbeat, the way he'd done that first night. Morrison's phone rang as they drove. "Federal marshals found 12 more dogs at Brennan's property. Fighting condition. 3 didn't make it." Elena drove faster. Back at the clinic. Sadie waiting. They brought the box in slow. Her head lifted. Nose working. Recognition instant. She tried to stand. Fell. Crawled to them. Counting 1 through 6. Then Hope, still barely breathing. Sadie's tongue on the smallest puppy. Gentle, insistent. The way mothers wake their young. Hope's chest moved. Bigger breath. Another. Eyes opened. Unfocused, but open. Sadie pulled all 7 against her. Milk starting again. Triggered by their return. Hope too weak to nurse, but Sadie positioned her closest, protecting. Arthur's phone. Patricia. "CNN wants an interview. You and Sadie. Tell the real story." "No. Arthur, let the evidence talk. The videos go. The records. The veterans." "And you?" He looked at Sadie, surrounded by 7 puppies. "Damaged. Unbreakable. I'm done talking." The gavel cracked against wood. 8 years. Brennan's orange jumpsuit bunched at the shoulders as marshals cuffed him. His mouth moved, cursing, probably, but Arthur heard only the squeak of Hope's paws against linoleum as she practiced walking. 3 months old now, white heart marking stark against black fur. Still wobbling, but fierce. Patricia Hayes sat 2 rows ahead, Katie's service photo in her lap. The cousin got 12, 11 others. Various numbers that meant cages for men who'd caged heroes. Outside the federal courthouse, November wind cut through Arthur's coat, reporters shoving microphones. He pushed past toward the SUV where Morrison waited with Sadie and the 7. "Mr. Sterling, will you—" Car door slammed. Morrison had Hope on her lap. "Syringe of antibiotics ready?" The pneumonia lingered, lungs rattling with each breath, but the tail never stopped moving. "She's ready," Morrison said. The bank manager's hands shook, signing over. 50 million. Arthur's signature steady. Sterling Foundation for Forgotten Heroes. Sarah running medical. Elena operations. Tom, no. Tom got 3 years minimum security. Someone else for security. First rescue came December 23rd. Not a scratch at the door Elena found her. Chained behind a foreclosure in Billings. German Shepherd. Pregnant. Hip dysplasia from a kick. Arthur carried her to the studio. Sadie rose from her bed. 7 puppies tumbling off her. The new dog's ears flat, tail tucked. Sadie approached slow, nose working. Some conversation between them Arthur couldn't translate. Then Sadie turned, walked to the closet where she delivered. Clear invitation. The new dog followed. Christmas Eve, 1 year exactly. 5:03 a.m. Arthur, awake before the scratching started, waiting. There, soft, deliberate. He knew that sound now. Opened the door to the beagle from the forest. Leg healed wrong, permanent limp. Collar red Buddy with disconnected number beneath. Behind him, shivering, a border collie, young, pregnant, frostbite blackening her ear tips. Buddy barked once, not alarm. Announcement. "I know you," Arthur said. The beagle's tail confirmed it. He'd brought a friend who needed what he'd found. By noon, Morrison had them stable. The collie would keep the ear tips, puppies due in 3 weeks. Elena arrived with Diego for afternoon feeding. Boy walked different, now taller. Inhaler in pocket, but unused. Storm had chosen him 6 months back. Wouldn't work with anyone else. "Mr. Sterling, can Storm come home? Sometimes, Mom says, maybe weekends." The dog heard his name, abandoned his wrestling match with Ranger, sat perfect at Diego's feet. "Ask your mother." 5 years. The number felt both endless and instant. 2,000 dogs through the foundation. Not all made it. Arthur learned that truth early. Some wounds went deeper than flesh, but most did. Found families, found work, found whatever peace broken things could build. Hope ran the therapy program now, every Tuesday. Children's oncology, every Thursday. Pediatric IC, the smallest fighter teaching other small fighters. Her vest read lead therapy dog, but the kids just called her Heart for the marking. Diego volunteered after school, 15 now, wanted to be a vet. Storm lived with them full time. Elena had moved to the ranch manager house, ran the place like she'd run Arthur's house. Everything in its place, except now the place included 100 acres and rotating staff. Patricia Hayes visited daily since retirement. 3 senior military dogs lived with her. Said Katie would have wanted it. Maybe true. Maybe just what the living told themselves. Morrison's clinic had expanded. 3 vets now. Robert passed 2 springs ago. Peaceful. Sadie curled against him. She'd stayed with him those last hours like she knew. The ranch's memorial wall grew monthly. Photos sent from adopters. A Malinois in Michigan. A lab mix in Louisiana. That first Border Collie's puppies spread across 3 states. Margaret's studio now held rotating nurseries. Her sunflower painting finally finished, Arthur hired her art student, the sky she'd never painted filled with birds. Freedom or escape, depending on how the light hit, at his desk now. Arthur reviewed applications. Sadie at his feet, muzzle white, movements careful, 9 years old, maybe 10, records unclear. Hope entered wearing her therapy vet, paw tapping his knee. Hospital time. They walked out together. The smallest puppy who'd nearly died. The man who'd nearly stayed dead. Behind them, the wall of photos, each one a choice someone made. To reach out, to open a door, to believe the next scratch patch might be salvation. The handkerchief hung framed in the entry. No explanation needed. People who came here understood sometimes grace arrives carrying your own forgotten kindness in its teeth. Sometimes it takes 700 yards through frozen hell to find the door that opens. Sometimes that's exactly far enough. The courtroom filled before dawn. Veterans from 3 counties, some in wheelchairs, some missing pieces, all wearing service pins. They'd heard about Sadie through networks Arthur didn't know existed, networks that moved faster than law. Elena in the front row, Diego beside her, portable oxygen tank at his feet, still wheezing but breathing, alive because Arthur had traded 7 puppies for nothing. Judge Matthews entered through the side door. She stopped. His courtroom held 60. 200 people stood shoulder to shoulder. This is a closed hearing. Public record. Patricia Hayes said from the gallery. Animal control cases are public. Matthews's jaw worked. Plaintiffs. Brennan's lawyer stood alone. My client is still hospitalized. Defendant! Arthur stood. Behind him, the crowd rose, silent, unified. Matthews looked at the veterans, the mothers, the workers who'd driven through dawn to be here. His cousin's money against a room full of witnesses. Miss Garrett, your motion, immediate destruction of a dangerous animal. From the back, that dog saved my son in Kandahar. Matthews gavelled. Order. Another voice. She found the IED that would have killed my unit. I said, order. The room stayed standing. Silent now, but standing. Matthews's hands shook, signing the dismissal. Disclaimer. This is a work of fiction created solely for entertainment purposes. The story does not condone, promote, or encourage any form of violence or harmful behavior toward animals or humans. All characters and events are products of the author's imagination, and any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The depiction of animal abuse in this narrative serves only to illustrate the triumph of compassion over cruelty within a fictional framework.